Okay, good afternoon and welcome back to the War Room. Today we're going to do a unwrapping unboxing of Stalingrad 42. I've already actually unboxed it, and as you can see the shrink wrap is gone, but I wanted to do a quick video of all the components and the great things that you get here in their game. Nice set of dice, all the campaign game and different scenario games start cards, which I find really handy and like a lot. Then you get the combat results tables here and a terrain chart, another scenario card, and another combat results card, more scenario cards for different scenarios, different, of course, different sides here. Different scenario, another scenario. There's the German cards, and then of course we've got the rule book, which is looks like 32 pages all together. It's printed on non-glossy paper, but lots of good color illustrations. And good diagrams and yep, nice explanation of what everything is in the beginning. And it looks like it's probably fairly similar. Rail movement, zones of control, Zoc bonds. It's part of the series in the 42 GMT games by Mark Simonitch, so that the rules are all very similar. And you know, if they're not all 42, some are 43 and 44, and of course there's even France 1940. But it's all part of the game designer and his basic idea of how to play the World War II games, and it's a yeah, fairly nice looking rule book. It's not one of the glossy ones. Looks like everything is there, and then we've got the standard playbook that they come with that tell you how to set up everything. Yeah, extended examples of play. Nice color pictures. Again, it's not the glossy paper. Campaign setup, hints on play. More example of play. Operation Uranus. Examples of play and setup. Yeah. Yep, nicely laid out like all of their rule books that I've seen to date. And I haven't started clipping any of the counters yet, but there's counter sheet 1, Germans and Allies it looks like, the front side, the back side. Counter sheet 2, front and back. I've played his earlier games, Normandy 44 and Holland 44. And there's the rest of your Germans, Russians, excuse me, some Germans and some other Russian formations, front and back. Oh, and this one comes with a counter tray, which I like a lot. I buy them in the 10 counter tray lots and use them for all my games. That's why some of my boxes end up being spread wide, because I can't close them because there are so many counter trays in them. See, we'll put these to one side for later. and start clipping and organizing them. Looks like it'll take at least one, if not two, counter trays. And then here's the Stalingrad map, or at least a map with Stalingrad in the center, and Saratov at the top. And it's got some of the player aids on the side there, the eliminated Soviet units box, disrupted box, supply markers, Soviet remnant holding box, etc., etc., reserve army holding boxes, the terrain key, which is nice to have right on the map. So there's that map, full size map. And then what else we got here? Oh yeah, we've got another full size map. So this is the other half of the map from Voronezh in the top, and pardon my pronunciation, to Belgorod and Kharkov. On the western edge down to Stalino, Rostov on the Don. So that's covering all of the western half. Now looks like we've got a couple of smaller maps. In here, this one looks like it goes down all the way over to the Caspian, down into the Caucasus. There's Grozny down there. So that's and another map, map C. That's map C2, and then this is map C1, which has more of the Caucasus, the Black Sea, Sea of Azov, the Straits, where the Russians have recently built a bridge across the Kerch Strait, so they can hang on to the Crimea. Let's see, that looks like, yeah, that will go something like that, and then it will go on the bottom of the map and extend the two larger maps down, so it take up even more room than it shows here. I'll lay them all out and put it together so we can see what it looks like here, what the whole thing's going to look like, more or less. I'm running out of room because of my let's see, Rostov. So that looks like that's going to go about there. This has got to go up here a little further. Roughly like that. And then this over here. Go there. Now. Yeah, so approximately, it'll go approximately like that. That's not perfect, but it gives you an idea of how big it is. You'll need a fair-sized table to play this, that's for sure. Luckily, I've got a big game room, big 4x8 foot table, and enough plexiglass to cover everything. From Stalingrad way up there by the bend of the river to Saratov off the edge of the map at the very top of the map, and then of course all the way to Grozny down here, and then all the way over to the Kerch Straits, up to Rostov, and then Kharkov in the west. There's Kharkov. That was quite an impressive map. I like that a lot. And there's Saratov. And there's Stalingrad. So it doesn't look like the unit density is going to be too bad. But it looks like you're going to have a lot of spread out counters, and I would say the Germans are going to have a hard time getting all the way down here to Grozny and winning this scenario. But it looks like a great map, great counters, and the rules are similar to the other ones, so it should be pretty quick, easy to pick up and play, pretty easy to learn. Looking forward to playing it. And maybe I'll run through a turn here of it later on and see how it plays. Alright, thanks for watching, take care, and as always, remember, no fighting in the war room. Have a good night.